Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Saggy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Judgment card, right? So there's a few things. There's three things that I'm going to say to you. The first one, if you're expecting any form of a blast from the past, this is the week where it's likely to show up for you, and it may happen in a way that you are probably not expecting, to be completely honest with you. So just be aware that that energy is definitely hanging around. What I also want you to be aware of this week as well, you may be getting messages from, whether you're a believer, whether you're not a believer. I mean, if you're here watching a tarot reading, you're at least a little bit of a believer, right? Not a believer. All jokes aside, this may very well be where a message this week comes through a dream, through a really strong, powerful intuition in some way. It's like some sort of knowledge or wisdom finds you this week through other means, through other experiences in your dreamscape. Maybe you have an out-of-body experience. Maybe you have a moment where where you see a spirit or a loved one visits you. It could anything like that. And when I say a loved one visits you, I mean somebody that's passed. This week, some sort of information is going to come to you through the other realm. And when it does, if you're not used to this kind of thing, it can be really unsettling, which is one of the reasons that I spend a lot of time with people that are just stepping onto this path, because I remember the questions that I had when all of this stuff started happening for me. And those were the things that really, that you need to know. And if you're new to this, or you've tried to deny your gift for a very long time and it shows up for you, it can be really unsettling. So just be aware that this is one of those times where that may be the case. Now, that being said, because it is the Judgment card as well, this is always a card that precedes big changes, right? So this is where, in some way, yes, it can be a call to action, but it's more than that. It's where you have to meet something, life, an experience, an understanding, a realization, where you have to meet something on its own terms. You can't get around it, you can't go over it, you just have to go through. So this week, in some way, shape or form, my dear Saggies, you are expected to show up. Do this for yourself, if not anybody else. For your actions and options this week, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Work, work, and work is going to be a big focus for you this week, right? Now, the fact that you've got this in your actions and options, and you've got this Judgment card, this could be an old opportunity with or through work that comes up for you, that comes back around. There's that blast from the past kind of energy as well. I'm hearing the Sugar Babes song in my head. Can we bring yesterday back? Like, I'm sure it was last week or the week before that that song came up for me, for you guys again. And I really feel that there's a lot of this stuff. Now that all the planets are going to start to grind forward as well, you're probably going to start to see like, oh, okay, this is why this didn't happen at the time. And this is where it's going to fit into my life from here on in. The other thing is as well, is that Eight of Pentacles in your actions and options, which is all about what you do. This is really about you doing the work on yourself, whatever work you perceive that to be, right? For your communications and conversations, you have the Queen of Cups. All right, so the first thing, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this week you're likely to have a conversation with a woman in your organization, within your company, that will get you to see something very differently. And in a lot of ways, this can be very nurturing. Like, the conversation that you have could be really, really reassuring in some way, and it could make you actually feel better or more optimistic about the future. It is the Queen of Cups though, so this suggests that you are going to have to school your emotions. How you feel about something, you're having to maybe not keep under wraps, but definitely focus and channel that energy maybe better than you have up till now. Now, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, what is it about your business that you love, and how are you loving, you know, everyone says like your business or your work, like it's your baby, right? So how are you loving your baby? What are you doing to nurture it right now? What is it that you really feel could be or get the most out of this for you? I think this is a time to nurture and nourish yourself through the work that you do. And if that means taking stuff back or trimming things back or changing something, then so be it. Also, it's possible that a Scorpio person could feature for some of you this week. Not a guarantee, but certainly possible. And then finally, for those of you that are retired or no longer working, it may be a woman in your life, a prominent woman, you know, a mother, an aunt, a sister, somebody that means a lot to you. A matriarchal kind of energy may be a part of what features for you this week. I mean, that could also be as well, that communication that comes through from the other, as I like to call it. And then for your love and relations, you have the Three of Wands. This is underneath the Eight of Pentacles, right? So this is doing work on the relationship. But also the Three of Wands is a great card for enjoyment and laughter and fun, and also to looking to the future. And I think in a lot of ways, if you are in a partnership or a relationship, this is big stuff. This is big questions this week about where are we going? What are we going to be? How do I be the best version of what my partner needs and what I want to give them? There could be some really big personal questions being asked this week. Or on the bigger sort of more philosophical level, on the more mundane level, this could be literally you guys figuring out where you're moving to. Very possible. And then finally, for those of you that are single, I mean, if you're meeting someone this week, I have to say they are slightly unconventional, which kind of suits you guys actually. You know, you need that because you've got especially an ascendant Sagittarius. You've got an Aquarius third house, right? So you need at least a little bit of zany, right? It can't just be all same. Like there's a need for things that are outside of the, I don't want to say outside of the realm of possibility because it's such a cliche phrase, but there's a need for things and stimulation and communication that take you outside of what is considered, 2 + 2 = 4. It's the only way that I can put it that makes sense. I'm frazzled, I'm sorry. For your money and materials, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Some of the things that you're working on may start to sprout now, and you can start to see, okay, this is what we're going to be getting, right? Some of this though may not necessarily be some of the financial opportunities that present this week, or some of the financial burdens or requirements may require a bit more of your time, a bit more of your effort and your energy. You've got this underneath that Queen of Cups. You're having to nurture some of the partnerships, the relationships, the business connections this week. And it's not about kissing butt or anything like that, but it is about sweetening some of the deals that you've got going on with people. That is going to be a requirement of this week when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your money. And at the moment, it looks like things are a very slow trickle, but that will turn into, a torrent, if you like. For those, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, Seven of Pentacles is your digestive system especially, right? So this week when it comes to what you eat, how much you eat, all of those things, right? Especially because of the cards that are present. This would be a really good week to get to grips with what your body is actually asking you for. You know, if you get certain cravings for things, ask why. Do some research as to what's in those things so that you can get a handle on what your body is actually asking you for. All right. And then finally, when it comes to the home and environment, I mean, this could literally be as, you know, as simple or as mundane as working on the garden. It could just as easily be, because you've got that in the Three of Wands in the love and relations and the Eight of Pentacles. This could be work that you're doing on the home, but on the external aspect of the home. So a garden, a balcony, what else, you know, outside space, decking, all of that kind of stuff. So your full moon message is the gate 23 and assimilate. So this full moon is really trying to get you not only to dream big, but to realize that the dreams that you have in order to bring big things into your life, they really are possible. It's just about having the guts and the courage to go after them, which, you know, guts and courage, I'd say these are things that Saggies have in spades as far as I'm concerned. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.